And Mine Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. And have I got some news for you today? The title of the video is Huge SATP IETF cross-border payments rolling out. Is this the beginning? But remember, please, I'm not a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice. None of the information provided in this video should ever be taken as a signal to buy or to sell. But first and foremost, we look at these crypto bubbles. We are up one rank to 57 with a market cap of $1.3 billion, with a 24-hour volume of $14.84 million and a price of 107. We're currently up 0.1% in the hour, up 1.2% in the day, and up 2.5% in the week. And it's looking very green. This is possibly due to BTC rising above that $43,000, which is always nice to see, but really doesn't bother me because I'm here for the long term. But we look at the exchange reserves. As we can see, we are at 1.398 million on reserves at the moment, and we can see that the net deposits on exchanges are low compared to the last 7-day average. Lower deposits can be interpreted as lower selling pressure. Relative strength index is currently neutral, but again, we just wait for this. We're waiting for the exchange reserves to drop. And as I've always said, I think that 1 million on exchanges is probably the psychological factor where things could move as we see them to drop. Now, this news that came out last night, breaking news. First cross-border payment using UAE's digital dirham made. Another day, another big event. As we can see, Sheikh Mansour conducted the historic transaction directly to China through the mBridge platform. So let's have a look at this. As we can see, first cross-border payment made using UAE's digital dirham. Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Vice President, Deputy Prime Minister, Chairman of the Presidential Court and Chairman of the Board of Central Bank of UAE, marked as a significant moment on Monday by initiating the first cross-border payment using UAE's central bank digital currency, digital dirham, amounting to 50 million dirham. Sheikh Mansour conducted the historic transaction directly to China through mBridge platform while attending the celebration of the Golden Jubilee of the establishment of the central bank and the graduation of 1,056 Emiratis who comprise the first batch of IFA Emiratization program held at the Abu Dhabi National Exhibition Centre. So Sheikh Mansour emphasized the leadership strategic commitment to fortifying the UAE's standing as a global financial hub and underscored the central bank's role in fostering financial and monetary stability, optimizing efficiency and flexibility in the financial system, and propelling economic growth to advance development efforts in the country. Now, this is absolutely huge. Now, I'm going to go through it all, but as we can see here, I put a tweet out yesterday, Quant Project mBridge. Sheikh Mansour conducted the historic transaction directly to China through mBridge platform. And as we can see here from Miles Bron, this was back in November. He says breaking Project mBridge by the BIS was just featured in the latest Quant video. And this was showcasing Quant Network. And are these little hints here? And he says this is massive. And as we can see in the image here, mBridge platform and Martin Hargreaves. And we can also see here, what is Project mBridge? Project mBridge experiments with multi-CBDC common platform for wholesale cross-border payments, focusing on the use case of international trade, which has the potential to connect central banks and commercial banks around the world as a public good. The platform developed for Project mBridge is underpinned by custom-built DLT, a set of comprehensive legal rulebook documents and fit-for-purpose governance structure. And as we can see here, interoperability, as we know, is key player to bring legacy into blockchain. Now, let's continue. We see this from San. This was actually, again, back in September 2023. The age of CBDCs is upon us. Wholesale CBDCs are launching soon, Swiss this year, and now mBridge. And we see the Ledger Insights, the mBridge cross-border CBDC platform will launch soon, according to HK Mag Gov. And we can see here, down here, he then highlights the DLT API gateway, and we can see here API gateway, and it's all about application layer interoperability. And he goes on further, and of course on fully permissioned architecture. Now, who does that? Where DLT API gateways are most suited. And we can see access layer, application layer, data layer, then the blockchain. And we got here at the heart of the Enbridge platform is private permissioned distributed system. Validating the ledger is the process of accepting or rejecting proposed transactions to the ledger, and is done through a consensus mechanisms. And we can also see this again from Miles Bron. And this is a really important factor, a connection, connecting the dots. SATP, developed by the IETF, is being used in the Enbridge project. And we can see here, in a wider context, it is also worth noting that the multi-CBDC project, MCBDC, of the Bank of International Settlements, the BIS, and who works with them, demonstrated the use of the bridging mechanism. Now, if we go over to the Quant Network website, and we see here, Designing Secure Bridges for Asset Transfer by Luke Riley. Bridges are used to move digital assets from one blockchain to another and are foundational concept for interoperability. Unfortunately, they are frequently cited as a significant vulnerability point in large-scale hacks and theft. This doesn't have to be the case. Bridges can be designed securely if the right architecture and protocols are in place, explains Dr. Luke Riley. Blockchain bridges connect separate blockchain networks. They work by moving a digital asset and its associated information, a token, stablecoin, cryptocurrency, or NFT, from one blockchain to another. Bridges can also facilitate the transfer of assets between the so-called layer 1 blockchain networks, which are standalone, and the layer 2 blockchain networks. They are reliant on layer 1 networks. Bridges can also vary in complexity. It's easiest to build a bridge to connect two networks of the same distributed ledger technology type, such as moving ERC20 token from Ethereum to Polygon, which are both Ethereum based. However, it becomes more challenging when bridging between different DLT types, such as moving assets from Hyperledger Fabric network to Corda network. Why bridges carry risk? Blockchain technology has many clear advantages over centralized database technology. Its distributed nature provides cryptographic security, data transparency, and near frictionless transaction potential. DLTs use trust minimized technology. All parties involved are assumed to be potentially malicious, so interactions are continuously authenticated and validated. DLTs are exceptionally robust. To attack a major blockchain network is extremely difficult due to its distributed and decentralized nature. To perform a successful attack, you would need to strike most nodes on the network simultaneously. This so-called majority attack would usually, dependent on the network size, prove extremely costly on proof-of-stake blockchain networks and require massive amounts of energy and computational power on proof-of-work blockchain networks. Now, what I found really, really interested in this, without going through everything, was this little footnote at the bottom. International standard development. Quant is leading the space in international standard development for asset transfer bridges. We are the key contributor to the Internet Engineering Task Force, which is the IETF, the Secure Asset Transfer Protocol SATP, which aims to standardize digital asset transfers from one network to another, which is very interesting when we look back here. SATP, developed by the IETF, is being used in the Enbridge project. Now, if we move over to here, we see this. Quant bolsters DLT security and interoperability with Secure Asset Transfer Protocol. And as we can see, Quant is among the participants of recently approved IETF working group developing a new internet protocol, which will make the transfer of digital assets more secure and DLT networks more interoperable. Alongside colleagues from MIT, IBM, EY, and others, we have put forward a charter that has led the IETF to form the Secure Asset Transfer Protocol Working Group. The working group will develop the SATP, a new technical standard for the internet. The protocol aims to enable the transfer of assets across digital networks in a secure manner. This will then be achieved in part through standardized communication between networks and securing transactions across networks. Now, this sounds very, very familiar from what I've just talked about. This working group comes at a critical time for both digital assets community, whose focus is on encouraging ease of movement of assets, and the internet as it attempts to evolve into a modern, sophisticated internet of DLT networks, which provides better security. Having the proposal officially designated a working group by IETF is a great achievement and reflection of Quant's commitment to security. Security is number one for legacy. And Claire Facer says here, who's a project manager at Quant and co-chair of the SATP working group, we see a network of networks future, much larger than the current internet networks of today, transacting data, information, and value. If approved, the SATP will be a core infrastructure akin to today's internet routers operating with border gateway protocol. Thomas Hodjono, director of MIT Internet Trust Consortium and a member of the SATP and also one of the founders of the Quant Network. We are very pleased and extremely grateful to Quant team for supporting the IETF protocol development from the beginning. We're looking forward to working together to solve the intricate problems in digital assets. Now, I am very, very excited because if you connect the dots and you have a look, remember, this is my personal opinion, and I'm looking at these dots and I'm seeing a comparison to what's actually going on in the world and what we're seeing here with the UAE and their first historic transaction directly to China using the Enbridge platform. Now, it is sort of speculation, but if you connect the dots and you look at what's being said, it's just a big jigsaw puzzle. Many will have you believe it's something else, but my personal opinion, remembering none of this is financial advice, Quant could be a big part of all of this. There you go, guys. Just a quick update. Very exciting, but we'll have to wait and see. All the best, and I'll catch you later.